Welcome back to the channel, guys. Start of the week, and we have had a few bits in, so we're going to take a look at those, get them unboxed, pop them in the display. It's not likely we're going to get a chance to get out this week. Obviously the corona thing is still ticking along. It's probably going to be, I would suspect, a couple of months at least. But we are still ordering stuff in, so we are still getting bits in for you guys to see. But let's take a look at it. And today we are looking at the Neca Halloween figure, Michael Myers. Now, if you don't know, there's a few different versions. This one accompanies the latest film. He's in the cloth clothing, unlike the plastic ones. He comes with a hammer, he comes with a knife, and I think that's it. But what we're going to do is we're going to unbox it and have a look at him in closer detail, because I think this is probably my favourite of the Michael Myers figures. I don't think I want to keep the box, but always the same rule. If we can get it out without ruining it, we will. And that was fairly easy. It's literally got a bit of tape at the top, cut that and you're in. So it looks like I was right, you do only just get the knife and hammer, which is fine. You do get sort of a backdrop you could use, which I'm actually going to put up as well, because that's kind of cool. And there we have him. The clothing feels really good, it looks exactly like the film. If you've not seen it, I would suggest checking it out. It's up there with the original for me. And one scene in particular, which is a really long shot, it stays with the same shot for a few minutes. Some of the best kills in the film, some of the best kills from the whole franchise, so I would absolutely check it out. Although I would say the original is better overall, this one has better highs for me. I'm just trying to think in the film if I think he kills one person with a hammer and then he takes the knife from them. So it's kind of cool we got the hammer, but there's not many other props he could use, to be honest. He doesn't really use many in the film. Now, I'm sure it's meant to go in the other way, but I cannot get it in for the life of me. I will try and loosen his hand later and pop that in, but that's a really cool looking figure. It's, okay, I was just looking to check the detail on the rest of the figure. He has only got, I'll do a close-up of that, he has only got half of a shirt, so if you do open up the overalls, I mean, I don't know who's going to be doing that. It's not that big of a deal. Just a bit of a weird one. But in general, as all Neca figures, a ton of articulation, great equipment, great looking detail. Like I said, this is probably my favourite Michael Myers. Make sure we pop that collar. But there we have it, a quick unboxing of the Neca Michael Myers figures from the latest Halloween film. That is awesome. That isn't all we got this week though. This one doesn't need unboxing. We did pick up a Goliath from Gargoyles, which is on Disney Plus at the minute, if you weren't aware. If that's a reason for you to get Disney Plus, it was for me. I'm going to rewatch through that. It did come with everything. I've got the missile it shoots and other things in there. I did want to pick up the Power Wing one, but anywhere I found it, it was already sold out before I could grab it. So I ended up picking up this one because I did want a Goliath, and it was fairly cheap, really good condition. Had all the accessories, so it was an easy pickup for me. I am going to try and collect all the Gargoyles, so I think it will have its own shelf. But let's pop these in and then we'll take a look at that and see what else we can get up to this week. It is now Friday, but we are back with a few more unboxings. I have opened this one up just because I wanted to check it beforehand. But let's take a look at what we've got. We've got two pieces here, two quite big ones, important ones for the collection. So, it's packaged well, which is, ooh, that was loud. So, I'll show you these and see if you can work it out. Got some insect spraying guns. We've got more insect looking guns. We've got a few like bombs it drops. I think these go in the propeller. That might give it away. But of course, it is the Turtlecopter. This is one of the most iconic toys from my childhood, personally. I never had one new. I think it came out the year before I was born. But we did pick one up. We did have one. This is in really good condition. As when I was a child, it didn't have all the stickers. We had nowhere near all the accessories. So this is kind of cool for me. This is a bigger step than... Normally, you struggle to find bits you had, but if anything, this has more. Now, if you don't know what this was, it was basically a copter which there's a trigger at the back which you could punch with, and you can imagine how much fun that was as a kid. On top of that, you could put your turtles in it, you could attach these weapons from the side. It does have something that should drop canisters or empty stuff from the canisters. It doesn't have that, but I thought out of everything, that was probably the easiest bit to pick up secondhand from somewhere. So I'm going to build it up, put it together, and then we can take a look at it in all of its glory. I might as well show you how to put it together if you need to know that. Basically, these parts here clip on the end of the propellers on the top. So you can see there's a little rivet at the end of this. I hope you can see that anyway. That's the part that clips in to the snake's mouth. Like that. So you can see at the end, the snake's mouth is just holding that in place. Then you've got these little guns, which, if I remember correctly, they clip onto here somehow. So I must have to put, that's kind of cool. So the way it connects and holds the guns is a massive turtle hand. That's kind of awesome. So we'll attach that first. Got to try and work some of this out for myself. So these are the doors that would drop the canisters. So I know exactly where they go. So I might as well start with them. So they clip in either side. Those should just slot in. They go here, and then the canister would hang from here. You wouldn't hear a click or anything. They literally just pop in and hold. So one side has a few little bumps where you could click this into. So you just need to make sure you've got the right end. And then the turtle hand pops out and can, I think it holds one of these weapons. I am struggling to remember how these parts connect. So I think these larger guns go at the top. So there is a little slot from here. Then we've got the little side guns here, which again just clip into the slots either side. And then we've got these two guns, which, ooh. Okay, so I think you're supposed to attach the hand first, so attach it to the hand before you put it in there. Yeah, so that one goes in the side on the hand, which is where one of the turtles would sit and use it. Then the final one is on the front. It's like an exterminator helicopter type thing. So I think the only things we are missing are the barrels and the tail fins. The tail fins I have seen on eBay for fairly cheap, so I will be picking those up. If you've got some of the canisters, the big orange things, you probably recognise them if you saw them. Let me know in the comments below, I'm sure we can work something out. But that is one of my favourite childhood pieces. I asked sort of relatives and stuff if they could remember this, and they could. Somehow my brother couldn't, even though, like I say, we did have this and we did use it quite a lot. But that is awesome. So that's going to go straight in there. I think the turtles are going to get a second shelf because I've pretty much filled up their first one. And I've got more little figures of them coming. It's going to have to go in there somewhere. So we're going to pop that in, and then we'll look at my final piece for this week. I've ordered the Annabelle doll from the film The Conjuring, and then obviously Annabelle and Annabelle Creations. We're going to unbox it and take a look at it today. So let's get into it. Let's have a look at my latest order, the Annabelle doll. So if we want to have a look at the back, try and get no glare on there. Basically it says, before The Conjuring there was Annabelle. John Form has found the perfect wedding gift for his expectant wife, Maya, a beautiful rare vintage doll in a pure white wedding dress. But Maya's delight with Annabelle doesn't last long. On one horrific night, their home is invaded by members of a satanic cult who violently attack the couple. Spilled blood and terror are not all they leave behind. The cultists have conjured an entity so malevolent that nothing they did will compare to the sinister conduit to the damned that is now Annabelle. Absolutely adore the films. Conjurings are some of my favourite horror films. Annabelle, again, up there for my top horror films. Absolutely adore them. The shared universe in general is something I'm a massive fan of. But let's take a look inside the box. I literally just bought this. Hold on a sec, I'm just going to go check. So it was definitely... Of course I'm just playing around. We didn't want to waste time with the unboxing, so we wasted time with that terrible skit instead. This is the doll you get. Apparently 18 inches tall, plastic head, plastic arm or forearm, plastic feet, and then the rest is like a normal doll texture. If we're comparing it to the film version, I mean, that's pretty much spot on. This is from the guys at Mezco. They always do fantastic work. I was and ahhing between getting this and the Living Dead Dolls version. It's a little bit, well, it's quite a bit smaller, which is why I ended up going for this. I found it on a good deal on Amazon, so that's why I went for it in the end. But we'll do some close-ups of it. We'll have a look around and see if it matches up. I think in terms of the film, it looks identical. It's got the marks on her chin. So this is the version where it's been possessed. That you can get the Creations version, which is beforehand. This looks a little creepier. The other one looks just like a generic doll. It still looks scary because it is Annabelle, but yeah, I just think the story is fascinating. The eyes are kind of glossy, a little bit sticky. There's some marks around the face. Again, I'll do close-ups of these so you can see them a little better. So it's all damaged up once the blood and other things have dripped on it and it's been possessed. The hair's spot on. It's got the ribbons like it does in the film. Just try not to tear one of them out. There's not a lot you can complain about, to be honest. It's going to go in there with my other horror stuff. That's pretty much... I've got Chucky as well. It's a little bit... You can probably see just there. It's a little bit bigger than Chucky. I'm tempted to take Chucky out as well and pop them in together. See how they look. Yeah, but I'm really happy with that. For the amount I spent especially, really good quality. And quality you wouldn't really get anywhere else. I'm really big into horror films and horror in the real world as well. So paranormal stuff, I do tend to believe until proven wrong. I think some things have more merit than others. So this kind of thing does really interest me. The actual Annabelle doll, the museum of it all. I do like to believe in that stuff just because I find it interesting and I like that sense of belief. But let me know your favourite paranormal story. Maybe you've got your own, maybe it's one you've read online, maybe it's Annabelle. Let me know yours in the comments below and let's start a discussion on it. But that's all we've got for this episode. So until next time, guys.